When you're looking to create a character and you want to make a caster, one of the first things you're going to have to decide is whether it is going to be a prepared caster or a spontaneous caster. And that can really increase or decrease what spells you can cast, how quickly you can change them, and how you have to prepare every single day in order to start the process. My name is Don. I'm trying to be the theSlyStrategist, and let's go ahead and get into it. So, prepared casters like clerics, druids, wizards, things like that, you will spend your morning when you prepare your spells just like you would for a spontaneous caster. You are going to select the spells and each spell level that you would like to cast that particular day as determined by your own level and class. You will generally have a large spell repertoire of things to put into your spell book for the day simply because you can pick any of the ones that you know and you can change them out every single day. Those particular spells will stay prepared until you cast them or until you prepare spells again. That might seem like a semantic argument simply because if you are preparing them again, they're going to remain in the same spot, but it is still considered part of your daily preparations. So you're basically going to be refreshing your spell book every single time you do your morning preparations. One of the things you do, though, is if you would like to cast a spell multiple times, then you have to remember it multiple times. So each spell is expended when you cast them. So if you are a cleric and you want to cast 2 heal spells in a day, then you have to prepare it twice. You can't just have the heal spell in there and expect to be able to cast that same spell multiple times. It has to be in your spell book as many times as you think you're going to cast it for the day. It doesn't apply to cantrips because cantrips can be cast as many times as you would like as long as it is prepared and in your spell book. However, there are some abilities that you can get that will allow you to swap out prepared spells at other times, maybe not at just your daily preparations. One of them might be the wizard spell substitution, or there is in Secrets of Magic, you can do flexible spellcaster. And these might allow you to do the prep at different times of day or be able to swap out spells in certain situations. However, your daily preparation is always going to be the main one that you're going to be looking forward to. Now that we've kind of discussed prepared spellcasters, let's go ahead and go to spontaneous. So for spontaneous spellcaster, something like a bard or sorcerer, you are going to do your daily preparations just like a prepared spellcaster would. However, one of the things that you're going to change is you are going to spend your morning refreshing the spell slots and not the spells. You do not get to change the spells in your repertoire. You would actually have to go retrain, and we'll discuss that in a little bit. However, because you aren't refreshing all the spells in your spell book, you're only refreshing the spell slots. You can cast those spells as many times as you want that you have spell slots. They will stay prepared even after you cast them, but you may only cast them for the amount of spell slots that you have available. Each spell slot is expended when you cast something of that level to take up one of those spell slots. So if you think of it this way, and we'll use something similar to the cleric so that it's a like for like almost. Let's say you're a bard and you want to cast 2 soothe spells and you have 3 first level spell slots. You can have 3 separate first level spells in your repertoire, but you can cast soothe twice because you are using the spell slot and not the spell itself. For this, cantrips are going to remain exactly the same as they are for a prepared caster. As long as they're in your spell book, you can go ahead and cast them as many times as you want. However, as mentioned a little bit before, you have to retrain in order to swap out spells. You cannot do that during your daily preparations. Saying that, let's go ahead and talk about retraining. So if you are a spontaneous caster and you would like to switch out some spells in your spell book, retraining is where you're going to go. It's in the core rulebook on page 481. And there's a whole bunch of stuff there that talks about it allows you to alter some of your character choices, anything that could be feats or spells is one of the things that is in there, and talks about how your GM could determine how long it could take, what you need to do, how much you need to pay. Some of those are going to remain without a doubt. So don't think that you're going to get away from it, unfortunately. However, if you take a look at the class features section, which is on that page, kind of towards the end of the section, you'll see that it does specifically mention spells. And it says that you can change a class feature that requires a choice, and you can make a different choice instead. Some, like changing a spell in your spell repertoire, takes a week. You might need to find a teacher. You might still need to pay that teacher, but the amount of time you're going to have to do is going to be about a week. So retraining is totally a downtime activity, and it really can't be done at any other time. I have seen some homebrew sections, especially maybe the first or second session after character creation, where the GM will kind of give you a little bit of a lemon law on your character choices and allow you to make some changes without going to that full retraining thing. But it is something to keep in mind. Just kind of to bring those up one more time. You're generally going to have to find a teacher. You may have to pay them, as well as it's going to take a week. The teacher part, once again, could be GM'd out a little bit. Maybe if you're in a great library or you have access to books, or possibly you are a favored of your deity and you pray for the change in the spell. These are things that can be role played if a teacher might not be available at that particular location or that particular time, but it's just something to keep in mind if you are a spontaneous caster. Now, I hope this video helped explain kind of the difference between a prepared caster and a spontaneous caster. They both have their place. Remember, your prepared caster is going to have a much greater repertoire of things they can do from day to day, because they can change out their entire spellbook every single day. Whereas a spontaneous caster is kind of locked into what it has in its book until such time as they can retrain. I hope you liked the video and you learned something, maybe thought of something a little bit differently. However, if you liked it, please feel free to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for any new videos that come out. But regardless of what you do, I hope you have a great day, and thanks for watching. Happy adventuring.